Okay, wonderful. Thanks, everyone. Wow, we have quite the crowd here. Okay, how did you like the afternoon? Did you have a good time? Yes? Okay, yeah, me too. It was a wild mix between terrifying and very exciting, the things that we discussed in the crypto and compute track. So I would love to just have a go and maybe introduce yourselves, what was a highlight in your session, and then you're welcome to take a seat downstairs. Yeah, off you go.
Sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Kyle. I started a company called Latch Bio, and we build a cloud infrastructure for biology and biology research. Yeah, thank you for the fist pump. Favorite part of my session was learning about tech trees, which is a new initiative at Foresight. It's very interesting, like a new Wikipedia for literature search. Thanks.
Wonderful. Thanks for making us your highlight. Glorious. Will.
Hi, Will Moreland with the Special Competitive Studies Project out of DC. Focus on research and that's why we're in funding. And that's why we're in the funding track. Highlight was talking and having great conversation across our panels about ways to innovate funding, where venture capital, where public sector funding come together, and how geometry of innovation has changed, and we need to fill those gaps on specific angles.
Wonderful. Thank you for joining.
Hi, I'm Peter Norvig. We talked about the intersection of AI and education. To me, the interesting part was a prediction of how long it's going to be before these large language models could be a useful partner in educating and tutoring. Is that going to be 5 years out, or is it going to be 5 months out? And
well,
next year I'll come back and answer.
Since last week, a lot changed on that front. Thanks. Okay, Jonah.
Hi, this is Jonah with Equator Therapeutics. We're developing an anti-obesity drug. And I've been bouncing around sessions a little bit, but what I got the most out of was Joe Pet's talk about cell reprogramming, which is an area that I'm quite interested in.
Wonderful. Man, people are saying other people's session highlights. I love it. Thanks. Okay, Gabriel.
I'm Gabriel. I was speaking about the role of VCs in bringing science into real technology into companies as well, and how we do that with venture creation. And I really liked the follow-on session of Will, where he was speaking about the change in funding in a VC environment as well. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Gabriel. Wow, we have a full house, guys.
My name is Eva Gelprin, and I was talking about nation-state spyware, and the highlight of my session was getting to tell people about ways in which we are winning. Spyware can often be a very grim and terrifying discussion, and so being able to talk about the ways in which our computers and devices have actually become more secure for everybody instead of just special security for vulnerable populations is really satisfying.
Wonderful. Thanks, Eva. Thanks for your words.
My name is David Furman. I was in the longevity session, and there was a lot of discussion around mice and humans, and the never-ending discussion, really. But my talk was mostly about this very unique overlap between space flight, microgravity, and longevity, which afford us with a very unique opportunity to understand aging at an altered rate and develop drugs for these two rapidly expanding markets of space flight and longevity.
Thank you. Wonderful.
Hi, I'm Christine Peterson with Foresight. I was in the Flourishing Futures session. We heard about a number of amazingly wonderful projects that give me hope for collaboration in the future instead of continued division that we see online today. What I'm most excited about that was mentioned was that on Monday, DeepMind posted a paper saying that they have a large language model which is now better than human beings at crafting statements that large numbers of human beings agree are correct. In other words, helping humans find consensus. So software that helps us find consensus instead of division gives me a lot of hope. Thank you.
Thanks, Christine.
Hi, I'm Marta Belcher from the Filecoin Foundation. I was in the code and law section, and we talked about the ways in which the financial surveillance of the traditional banking system is really being extended into cryptocurrency. And we're at this really interesting moment in time where because the ethos of cryptocurrency is really anti-surveillance, we have an opportunity for the first time to really fight back against the mass surveillance that we've been seeing for decades.
Thank you.
I'm José Fricón. I presented on the longevity track in the previous session, which I didn't come here in the early one. I'm to a bit meta. I was excited about the fact that there were two talks. This was unplanned on reprogramming, was from Joe and myself. We did not plan this, and this is because I'm very excited about reprogramming as an approach to target aging, and I'm glad that it's getting more and more attention from others.
Cool. Thanks.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jamie Joyce, and I was in the Existential Hope session. And in talking about the work of the Internet Archive's Democracy Library and discussing our landscape analysis about the brokenness of accessibility of government documents, data, publications, and research, one of the fun things that I learned is that apparently the state of Kansas has potentially, maybe have to yet fact check, solved at least one pain point that we had identified when it comes to the inaccessibility of versioning of different policy documents. So I was really excited about that.
Nice one. We have a solution to you.
My name is Creon Levitt, and I gave a talk at the space track, which we have the other speakers here lined up behind. And mine was on the evolution of Planet Labs from a little startup in a garage to a global company now that provides by far the most information about the Earth from space as anyone, and all the sorts of different use cases that these data are currently being used for, and some that they might be used for. And what was really exciting to me was that when I was getting ready to talk, there were like 8 people in the audience, and then I noticed after the talk was underway that the audience had gotten really big, and we had really, really great questions and conversation.
Wonderful. Very happy to hear.
And I came on just after Creon in the energy and space section, and I was talking about, I guess, investment activity here. I work in venture capital with Future Ventures, and just one anecdote to give you a sense of the flood of capital and opportunity in this area. In 2015, Planet Labs and SpaceX raised over $1 billion in venture capital, more than the entire space sector had raised in the prior 30 years combined ×2. And then a subsequent flood of other venture investment in space occurred after that. 500 venture firms invested in different space startups. More recently, in nuclear fusion, an area that I think is going to be really interesting over the next few years, over $2 billion was raised in 2019 by 2 companies, Commonwealth Fusion and Helion. And that also exceeded the prior 30 years combined ×2, a peculiar similarity. And so potentially, over the next few years, we'll see an explosion of investments in energy and climate tech as the venture sheep all line up behind the bright, shiny object.
Wow, nice content.
My name's Adam Brown. I was also speaking in the space and energy session. We discussed all of the engineering challenges that the laws of physics place in the way of building space elevators in the vicinity of black holes.
Nice.
That sounds fun. I'm Gaia. Dempsey. I gave a presentation in the Flourishing Futures track. I introduced the forecasting platform Metaculus that I lead and gave some updates from pro forecasters, who are the very best forecasters that we've identified on the platform in the last 7 years, and shared their expectations around the future of global emissions, investment in AI, training, compute that will go into training AI in the future, the cost of sequencing human genomes, and a couple other topics. And we'll be sharing this out in a report shortly. And yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining, Gaia.
Hey, I'm Joe Betts-Lacroix of Retro, and I was speaking in the longevity and health track. Just based on recency bias, I watched a talk from Steve Jurvetson, who was up here a second ago, and I learned that one of the best ways of mining minerals from space might be to bring an asteroid into Earth orbit, so everybody thinks, oh, you're probably just going to take it apart in orbit, but actually get it there, but just drop it somewhere on the Earth and create a giant explosion and take it apart on the ground. That just sounded fun. But anyway, the most exciting thing I learned in the like longevity track, I talked about cellular reprogramming, was that I was kind of worried that maybe we were being too ambitious, adding 10 years of lifespan, health span to humans. But by far and away, asking the audience what they thought, it was like maybe 40 people like should be longer, and 0 to maybe 0.5 people should be shorter. So I feel encouraged.
Very nice. Okay, wonderful.
Hello everyone, my name is Yuanying Feng. I'm a postdoctoral research fellow at Northwestern University, but more importantly, I've also collaborated with Foresight Institute for the molecular machine technology tree. So I introduced the tree to all the audience, showing a very user-friendly web-based interface that all of you can know what is going on in the development of this field. So, I mean, molecular machine is a very good academic development field. The professor got Feynman Prize, student got student award, and even professor got a Nobel Prize back to 2016 in chemistry. But most of the funding resources actually came from the government because people had to see the challenge and the future application. So I want to attract more people to come to join our field and know more about the molecular machine. So that's our future hope. And I really like the Foresight Institute Tech Tree project so that more people will get access to this field. You don't need to read the scientific literature. You just come to the tech tree, click the link, find the description we already written for you so that you know what's going on, and potentially we got better funding in the future. I learned from other researchers, including the latest research about DNA origami, also carry out a new company about the software for the bioinformative. Those are very amazing to help all the company to initiate their research. I mean, science is building bridges, have no boundary. I really hope everyone can join the field of science, especially the molecular machines. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Carl Fleger. Talked in the longevity section about how much healthy lifespan extension is possible with lifestyle, and how new technology will be needed to, but is likely, I think, to help us go beyond that, and the sort of ways to not slow us down on the way by misinterpreting things. The most exciting part of the afternoon for me, besides Allison's gong, was learning that Joe's going to give us 10 years sometime in the next 15, which is great. And also just the amount of interest that the audience was very, very engaged. And it was great to see how smart and interested they were.
Hang on for 15 more years, guys.
Hello, my name is Mark Novakovic. I led one of the rounds in nanotechnology discussion. It was in many ways a follow-up to what Dana has started to talk about in the morning about consumer BCI technologies, a lot of the potentials that we have for the future, and we had a really great discussion, interaction with the audience, bringing up the existential fears for dystopian future and the utopian futures. Having auto machine learning, auto learning about neuromarkers has a lot of potential for the future, but also that we could have a lot of negative effects, such as loss of thought, not having control over your brainwaves, and brain identity for the future. So looking forward to following it up with other conversations. Thank you.
Wonderful. Oh my God. Cool. Well, no one here decreased my FOMO. If anything, you aggravated it. But we did record all of the sessions, and we're hoping to make them available. I do give people a week grace period. If you want any comment redacted that you made in any of the sessions, email us, and we'll do our best. Okay, wonderful. So that concludes a really packed day. Thank you all for showing up and for giving us your minds to melt with. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for such a wonderful weekend. This was a ton of fun already. Thank you.